You're listening to Weather with Enthusiasm. Sunday night, June 30th, 2024. In the following episode, we discuss extreme heat that's taking place across the world, including the Arctic, extreme heat over the Great Salt Desert, along with very high water temperatures located in some areas across the world. We also discuss water temperatures in general, along with some other topics. 4th of July weather forecast is also mentioned for some parts of the United States, and stay tuned. Well, let's look at some of the amazing temperatures that we have right now. We have a city, this is north of the Arctic Circle. Sometimes it's hard to get a name of the city. Fort Yukon, Alaska got into the low 80s today. In fact, it currently is 84 degrees at the MIDIS station, M-I-D-I-S. This is 66 degrees north latitude, 34, 66 and a third degree north latitude. 2.48 degrees. Winds only 2 miles per hour. We have another city here where the temperature hit 87 degrees with a dew point of 51 degrees. This is also right along the Arctic Circle, 66 and a third degrees north latitude, slightly north of that. It's considered an unorganized borough. The name of the station is CHALKYITSIK, 87 degrees. That's 30 degrees Celsius, possibly even 31 degrees Celsius. The high temperatures for the past several days, high temperature yesterday, 84 degrees for yesterday. High temperature Friday, 83 degrees. High temperature Thursday was 92 degrees in the city. High temperature Wednesday, 89 degrees. Tuesday, last week, 82 degrees. Monday, 80 degrees. Now, Sunday, the day before, 83 degrees. Now, listen to these overnight lows. High Sunday last week, low 80s. Low Sunday night, low 40s. Highs Monday, low 80s. Low Monday night, upper 50s. High Tuesday, low 80s. Lows Tuesday night, mid 40s. High Wednesday, upper 80s. Low Wednesday night, low 50s. High Thursday, low 90s. Low Thursday night, upper 40s. High Friday, 83 degrees. Lows in the low 80s Friday night. Highs in the mid 80s on Saturday, on Shabbos. Temperatures dropped to at least 48 degrees this morning, and temperatures rose up to 87 degrees as we speak. This 80-degree heat wave continued even beyond Sunday last week. Just really warm temperatures. 81 degrees the previous Shabbos, 79 on Friday, and as far back as I can go is Thursday, June 20th, 81 degrees. Totally phenomenal stuff. Current temperatures again, 84 degrees. Yellowknife, very warm temperatures there. High temperature today in Yellowknife, this is in Canada, right along a relatively cool body of water. High temperature today was 83 degrees. And today was the first day where temperatures went into the 80s. If it happened earlier this season, it happened before June 20th. This place is not the Arctic. This is 62 degrees north latitude. Current temperature there right now in that city, it's still the evening, I suppose. Temperature 79 degrees. We have a city called Lake. It's in between Old Crow and Fort Yukon. Old Crow, not sure if that's Canada. That's Canada. Fort Yukon is Alaska. This city is in the Arctic. High temperature today, 82 degrees. High temperature yesterday, 80 degrees. Highs on Thursday hit 87 degrees. It actually was 88 degrees. Friday's high, 81 degrees. Wednesday, 85 degrees. Tuesday, 82 degrees. This whole week was a hot week up there. As he pointed out, we had some areas where temperatures went into the 90s. This is all the way up very far north. We're dealing with the actual Arctic. So it's been quite a day. We have severe thunderstorm watches which were in effect across the East Coast today. Temperatures only in the upper 60s, possibly low 70s in the Chicago area. We had very intense heat over in the St. Louis area. In fact, this past June, remarkably, the average high in St. Louis as of Thursday, 90 degrees. That's usually what it is in July. So that's about 7 degrees above normal. That would mean this upcoming July, if we're on pace, the pace continues, we'll have average highs in the mid-90s. Very hot. But for right now, for the first time in quite a while, an unseasonably cool air mass, or unseasonably mild, has moved into the Midwest and has even gone as far south as St. Louis, pushing overnight lows tonight into the 50s. Something very similar happened in the year 1994. Heat waves started both this year and that year, June 12th, and the heat wave ended with this rather cool air mass out of Canada. Major hurricane out in the Atlantic waters, currently 130 mile per hour sustained winds. That was as of 10 o'clock p.m., and it remains a Category 4 hurricane. It became a Category 4 hurricane earlier today, 1 o'clock p.m. Maximum winds, sustained winds, 130 miles per hour. At 1 o'clock, 132 miles per hour. Minimal central pressure, 28.32 inches of mercury. This is expected to remain a Category 4 hurricane through tomorrow morning, and even through Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. Weakening is expected, according to the National Hurricane Center, by Wednesday, but it remains a Category 2 hurricane. And by Thursday morning, it remains a Category 4 hurricane, a Category 2 hurricane, as it pushes over to the, would this be Central America, Guatemala, or it's hard to tell. But then it heads over into the western Gulf of Mexico as it continues its trail over there. European computer model has a little bit of a different track and intensity for this, but it's not considered to be as accurate as the National Hurricane Center. We also have a tropical storm, Chris, which is about to make landfall any moment. 40 mile per hour sustained winds. 29.68 inches of mercury is the barometric pressure over there. That's going to be making landfall soon. It's not really that far from Mexico City. It's coming onto the Mexican coast. You have another tropical depression, 96L. It's pretty far from here right now. 25 mile per hour sustained winds, 29.83 inches of mercury. Beryl is the greatest threat as of now. Extremely hot weather expected in Oklahoma this year for the 4th of July and for Texas, for most of Texas. Washington, D.C. also forecasting highs in the mid-90s this year, says the European computer model. The United Arab Emirates is the hot spot when you look at the wet bulb temperature. Temperatures going into the upper 80s. It's the wet bulb temperature. The wet bulb globe temperature is likely significantly higher than that. And that's due to dew points right along the coast of the Persian Gulf. Dew points reaching 86 degrees this week. Just phenomenal stuff with temperatures in the mid-90s. Afternoon highs actually going into the hundreds. At that point, the dew points are expected to drop into the 70s. Very impressive stuff going on over there. And when you go out into the Persian Gulf itself, wet bulb temperatures, 89 degrees, says the European computer model. That would mean a higher resolution model would likely push those wet bulb temperatures at a higher amount. In fact, we could take a quick look at that right now. You know, it's the Australian model, and it does not cover the Persian Gulf. So we're stuck with what we have. We have temperatures going up into the upper 120s up in the Great Salt Desert. That's in Iran, or Iran. It's by a city called Shaddad. Temperatures going up into the mid-120s. It's actually difficult to figure out exactly what country it's in. We have 128 degrees is what's forecasted to happen in some spots Thursday afternoon, according to the European computer model. And windy.com, there really are no cities over there. Volcanic rock is the reason why it gets so hot over there. And temperatures have likely surpassed the Death Valley temperatures due to this volcanic rock. There's just a lack of official equipment. But surface temperatures have been measured, and they're just unbelievably high. Much higher than anything you've ever heard. You could look it up yourself. But none of this holds a candlestick to what's happening by the Caspian Sea in Russia, where the dew point of 77 degrees is forecasted to happen this week. This is in the northern parts of the Caspian Sea. The problem is it's in the actual water, but probably right next to the coast as well. Just amazing stuff. The northern portions of the Caspian Sea, water temperatures, articles say that water temperatures in some of the shallow areas go into the mid-90s. Unbelievable stuff. I doubt it's at that right now, but the European computer model has water temperatures going at dew points going into the mid-70s this Friday, and then going into the upper 70s by a week from tomorrow, 77 degrees. And we even have 90-degree heat coming along with that. So pretty intense stuff happening over there. There's a city right here called Fort Shevchenko. There are some 70-degree dew points forecasted eventually for that city. But it looks like the winds are coming from the northeast, so we'll have to find a different spot. There is an area of land. There's no city. It's called the Mangistau region. Mangystaou region. This is like an island in the Caspian Sea. The dew point over here is expected to be 78, but that's by Tuesday next week. The European computer model this week does show dew points headed into the 70s Wednesday night. And dew points return into the 70s Friday night. Dew points reaching upper 70s Friday night. Dew points in the mid-70s for Shabbos afternoon with temperatures in the upper 80s. But here's the most impressive part about this is that, well, we have this at universal time, so 17 o'clock. It's about 5 p.m. The temperature of 88 degrees. But by 11 p.m., the temperature is up at 89 degrees. Amazing stuff. With the dew point of 74, the temperature actually rises. Just amazing stuff. That's this upcoming Motzei Shabbos. This is up, I don't know if it's in Russia or the Caspian Sea is in Russia. This is on the eastern portion of the Caspian Sea. And then from that point on, we have just dew points are pretty much in the 70s. You know, by 11, it's just amazing. 11 p.m. It can't be. It just can't be. I don't know I guess it shows 11 p.m., 91 degrees, dew point 75 degrees. There's got to be something off with that. But and then next Wednesday, this is a week from Wednesday, dew points approaching 80 degrees, a dew point of 79, temperature 90 degrees. This is due to the shallow water. The water temperatures get really warm. This is like a sea. This is because all the attention goes to the Persian Gulf, the Gulf of Mexico. Those are very warm bodies of water, but who would ever think up at 45, even 47 degrees north latitude? This is 45 degrees north latitude. We would have a body of water capable of producing such high dew points. The water temperatures would have to be pretty close to that, maybe usually warmer than that. If you have a dew point of 79 coming off of the water, you probably have water temperatures higher than that. Now, if we go to the seawater temperatures, windy.com does show the water temperatures to be in the low 80s right around this island in the Caspian Sea. Unbelievable stuff. I would imagine that's probably this place where, if it does hit 95, that's probably where you have it. The rest of the northern waters are in the upper 70s. as advertised by windy.com. When you get into the southern waters, well, I thought they were going to go down, but it goes up. I thought the water gets deeper and therefore the water gets colder, but actually the water temperatures warm to 81, 82 degrees, even 83 degrees, some portions down here. And then we have water temperatures at the coast of some other country, Turkmenistan, and the country that we were speaking about was generally Kazakhstan. Other side of the Caspian Sea is Russia. The Alaska National Weather Service tells us that a Siberian cold front will be moving through the northern portions of Alaska, bringing an end to the heat this week. And you'll see some areas where temperatures will highs in the 40s, where last week temperatures were in the 80s. As we pointed out, we even had some 90s. When you go over to the Persian Gulf, those water temperatures, windy.com advertises generally in the low 90s. We do have a 93 degree reading, and I think that is the hot spot, the 93 degrees. Most of the other areas, it's about 91, 92 degrees. The Red Sea of water temperatures ranging from about 84 degrees up towards, well, Israel, it might even be less than that, to 91 degrees in the southern portions of the Red Sea. According to windy.com, the Israel beaches, the Mediterranean beaches in Israel have water temperatures of 84 degrees. And the Gulf of Mexico, we have water temperatures generally in the mid-80s, according to this. But, you know, with the Gulf of Mexico, I've seen it be off. Sometimes you could have pockets of water temperatures in the mid-90s. Last year, even 101 degree water temperature at Everglade National Park. It was not picked up on windy.com. Plenty of hurricanes already, or tropical storms that are probably cooled off some of these waters. According to windy.com, we have water temperatures in the 80s all the way up into the mid-Atlantic area. It gets a little bit cooler when you head to Atlantic City, but if you go into perhaps you have to stay by North Carolina, you'll enjoy the 80 degree water temperatures. The Lake Erie water temperatures look like they're, according to this, you have 64 degrees in one part of Lake Erie, up to 74 degrees in the other part of Lake Erie. Lake Erie is the warmest of all the Great Lakes. Chicago water temperatures are generally in the mid and upper 60s right now. And of course the Arctic Ocean is all ice, so water temperatures are, ice temperatures are 29 to 30 to 31 degrees. But we do have ice breaking a little bit to the west of Barrow, Alaska. There's another pocket where we have some ice breaking.
You're listening to Weather with Enthusiasm.
We have a powerhouse typhoon which has developed off in the Pacific Ocean. Extreme heat continues over the desert southwest.
A big shockaroo to many of you. This is especially true in regards to what's going to be going on in Alaska. We have parts of the world that are so hot right now.
Temperatures are expected to go into the low 130s. What also makes the situation absolutely spectacular over there is the enormous differences between night and day.
We have a remarkable weather pattern change that's going to be taking place over the next few days. We're going from one extreme to the next extreme.
Small soft hail is falling with the storm. There's the possibility that snow squalls may develop. 27.1 barometric pressure. Feet of snow are falling in Japan. When there's intense weather, that's a time of celebration.
Just Google weather with enthusiasm, and they're all going to come up.